Well, you know what they say about friendship and peace. The best way to achieve it is punching people in the face non-stop for an hour. Hi! Welcome to a GC9x Plays. I'm KaL, and I'm joined today by...
I flipped the line. Anyway, this is Snarboo.
And I'm MisterArgent.
And today, we're clearly looking at the best beat-em-up that is probably available on Genesis. I'm gonna get some resistance from that, but at least one of the very best, Streets of Rage 2. One of the finest games that Sega has produced, especially in, what was the year, 92?
It was 91 or 92, yeah, it was very early on in the lifespan of the Genesis.
There it is, right there, 92. I know it's 92. Yeah, so...
I think that was the same year Thunder Force 4 came out as well, so that was a really good year for the Genesis.
I think that was also Sonic 2 came out that year, didn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I want to say, no, wait. Shoot, I was going to say something, but I can't remember what.
This is the options menu. You can turn up the number of players. I'm not going to, but you can. There is background, normal stuff. What's difficulties? Easy, normal, hard, and hardest. We're just going to leave it at normal, because why not? You've got Duel, which is a really, no one really likes it. Fighting another player mode, right? No one likes that. It's kind of crap. An add-in feature. No one wants it. One player or two players. Interestingly, you don't have to start with two players. You can just, dial in the middle of the game. But here we go. This is the cast of 4 heroes that are destined to defeat Mr. X. We'll start with Axel. This is the main character, an all-around shitty character. Blaze, the girl. She kind of has magic wizard boots that look kind of like money sacks. She's got stockings on. She kind of looks like she's going to a trashy club. She is the best character in the game by far. She's really amazing. Skate, who is the guy who's being kidnapped's son. That was Adam from the intro. Adam from the first game. He was the black guy, and now you have the black guy's son. They gave him roller skates and called him Skate because it was the 90s.
I'm pretty sure that's not his son. That's his kid brother. Like that's his younger brother.
Okay, that's one or the other. That's fine. I don't really care. He's small and he punches things. And there's Max, who just kind of showed up. Like, seriously, that's the plot for Max.
Amazing.
Well, Axel, invited him to beat people up. He's like, yeah, I can get down with that.
That's great. It's like, hey, Max.
Yeah?
Oh, you're gonna beat the whole city up. You wanna come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Max's plot. He's got this mysterious scar on his face, because, sure. I like his pants. I've always liked his pants, where they're just, and you see his bulging kneecaps here, they're just, look at them go. Like, they're just robbing caps.
Did he lose his knees in an accident and have them replaced with bowling balls?
The enemies, he might as well. Clap, dunk. This is the
well, you just missed a hidden extra life right at the start of the game.
So, Blaze and Skate really
extra life. I don't need extra lives. I'll get
just annoys the crap out of me.
I don't need that extra life. We don't need. I've already been told all the secrets, all the tricks. We don't need shit. We can beat this game, no problem. It's me playing Skate. I don't need, if I was Blaze, you don't need any extra lives. Like, you just waltz through the game and laugh your ass off.
Well, I guess since you're playing as Skate, you should know his unique features in terms of how he plays, because I'm noticing here he has a couple of special grab attacks that the other characters do not have.
Wait, let's go through while we beat up Donovan and series mainstay Gaiza?
I think it's supposed to be Garcia.
Yeah,
but they spell it as
all
Garcia.
Their names are really, lovable English. Except for the Y signals here, their names are kind of stable.
Yeah, yellow signal, green signal, purple signal, whatever color suit they're wearing.
TV signals. I always like that.
And RGB, I just realized that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. RGB they get the full color spectrum. Nice character names.
Really cool
design. So basically standard beat-em-up controls, as you would probably expect. Sega Mega Drive had 3 buttons plus the start button to begin with, so that's the controls that you would expect. You have A button, which I haven't used yet, but I will demonstrate it just for the purposes of demonstrating it. You have like your screen, your like kind of defensive area, defensive spin 360 move, you know, that kind of thing.
Now, if you hold forward, it changes the attack too, so you actually get two different
yeah,
crowd
which is a
clearing
really
moves.
nice touch that you get this. I love skates because it's just so like white. He turns into like a dramatic drill and just drills enemies, which is fantastic. Like, yes. You know, like, you'd think characters would be mostly grounded because they seem like it's just... The first game, it was very, like, normal. They were just punching. It was, like, kind of realistic. They got kind of mystical powers in this one to an extent, you know. Blaze has got, like,
It gets
almost
even more ridiculous in 3.
Yeah. So then you got Punch, which is pretty normal. You know, Skate's punches aren't very good, so I don't use them very much, but, you know, you use them when you have to. And that's fine, you know, he can punch, kick, it's all in the mind. I got knifed. I don't usually have to explain how to play the game while playing it, so I'm gonna screw up a little bit, but, yeah, so
Well,
you
I
got,
should know. Okay, so... Oh, you want me to actually take over? Because I have played this game before, or do you want to finish?
I'll keep doing it, 'cause I can do the moves while I'm still trying to explain it. You know,
Okay.
You can do jump, which is C, you know, pretty, you know, kind of expected. Jumping in this game is actually reasonably useful, I would say. Like, it's a very nice jump. You have jump, kick, you know, you jump, you press attack, you do a kick. I think maybe one of the characters does punch, but, you know, whatever, it's the same thing. I eat this food. Yeah. So, if you press jump, and then you hold down while pressing attack, you do a different attack. It's not very useful, but basically the jump kick knocks enemies to the ground when you hit them, whereas the down attack does not knock enemies over, so you can kind of chain it into a series of attacks if you time it right, so it's kind of like a little bit of risk reward in there because they might grab you or attack you before you hit them completely. As you can see, you walk into an enemy, you grab them. This game has one of the most complicated grapple systems of a game up until its release, because it's a...
Yeah, it definitely had a lot of complexity to the grapple system that usually in most beat-em-ups at the time, one character would be a dedicated grappler, and then the other characters would just have basic grabs or punches. Here, it's kind of the same, but every character can, you know, they can punch an enemy, they can throw an enemy, they can jump over the enemy, and then they get a different attack if they do that, usually.
Yeah.
Some characters have a jumping throw, as in the case of Skate Max.
Yeah.
There's some other things you can do, too, I believe.
Well, okay, so when you grab an enemy, you can punch him, or you can just, you know, hit him away once you do that. If you hold backwards, you do a different attack. Skate's not the best example for it, because his backwards attack just flings enemies forwards because he's small. All the other characters, their backwards attack kind of flings them backwards in some manner. You know, if you hold backwards after you grapple them, they fling them backwards. Skate doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Skate can jump over enemies and then, you know, crouch in their head and punch them a lot, which is a really cool move. It's a hell of a lot of damage. I think it might be the second most damaging throw in the game after Max's. Max is the closest to a dedicated grappler in the game. He does like 1 billion damage. Like that's the exact number. It's really unreasonably high.
It's really scientific, as you can see.
Yeah,
make the
you know,
average
there's
mind
science
bottle.
to you know, beating up the Electra woman here. It's not
No, I
positive
noticed.
female
Okay, so Skate
representation.
seems to have.
Yes.
So I'm noticing he has two different. Okay, he can throw them when he's going over them, and then he can jump on their head. Now, what's the difference with that? Is the jumping on the head attack, is that his back grapple, essentially, when he's behind the
once you're
enemy?
behind them and you press punch, you don't sort of hit them in the back, you just kind of, you do your back attack. And in Skate's case, he gets in the head and starts pounding their head, which is a really funny move. I've always liked that move visually, because there's very few games in beat-em-ups where the characters, like, kind of physically get onto a character and really pummel them. So that's kind of like a nice little touch. Hey, I didn't jump recover. Well, we'll work that one out. Hey! Oh, no.
Yeah, it should be noted that when enemies throw you, if you hold up and C, you typically, or you
Up and
should
C.
recover from the attack and not take any damage.
I'm pressing down C, that's probably why.
Yeah, you need to hold up and C, or up and jump as the case may warrant, because not everybody's going to play. Actually, wait, you can't rebind the controls in this game. That's right. It's always the same.
Yeah,
I think you could finally rebind them in 3, which was nice.
Yeah, there we go. Nice landing there. Bobbin can't do anything against me. Yeah, so with Skate, I was just gonna quickly, with Skate, if you press the attack button while kind of halfway over them, he does that like really useful overhead like throw. That's the only way he can throw people with any sort of force. So definitely the best move to use is Skate. We don't need extra lives. Let's rock it.
Pretty cool.
And yeah, his other move that you might have seen me doing, Escape, is unique in this game because he can run. No other character can run, which is a bit odd if you've played, I guess, modern beat-em-ups, because, like, a vast majority of beat-em-ups you can run, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
Modern ones.
Yeah, and they added that to 3 as well, so clearly they must have picked up on that and been like, wait a minute, that's kind of lame.
Yes.
But yeah, he can actually run. Typically what happens with the other characters, if you double tap forward and then do attack, they do a really powerful special attack, which varies from character to character. Axel's, I think, may be the best in the game, or second best, as the case may warrant. Some of the other characters' ones are a little less useful.
Most people find them harder to... I mean, people find Blazes harder to use, but it's got a lot of invincibility frames. I think Axel's is the worst, but you already
Is that the one where she, like, fires off a fireball or whatever?
Yeah, that's like a half somersault. Or she does like an entire somersault.
It's really weird.
Yeah, that was really hard to land, but I think she's got more vulnerability frames than everyone else, so... you'll notice I'm kind of missing weapons deliberately as Skate. Skate is the worst character in the game with weapons. He just sucks with weapons.
He's really slow, yeah. He can't swing most of them.
So, yeah, it's not worth it. If you want, you can use the, we'll get the sword later. The sword is probably worth taking because it just does so much damage. It's kind of ridiculous not to take it. But...
Now, who would you say is best with weapons in this game? Would you say it's Axel? Because I notice he's really good with most of them. He swings them really fast.
I would say it's technically Blaze, because Blaze is the best at everything in this game, because she's unfair. But the reason is, I think Blaze's range is slightly further with weapons. She can stand out of the range of, like, the bosses and just chain weapon hit them. So, that pushes her just over the edge. Yeah. What's the name? Axel's is a really good weapon attack, like he's definitely the best or second best, but I don't think his range is quite as good. And yeah, you might have just noticed, I
don't think his range is as far.
I just discreetly did it, but maybe I can show it again. The weapon's gone. You can throw weapons in this game. And you do that...
Yes, if you hold jump and then attack, it'll throw it.
Yes, but it's easier, you probably want to hold attack and then press jump, because otherwise you'll jump before throwing your weapon.
Jump first. You also have a back attack. I don't know if we pointed that out. If you hold jump and then hit attack or vice versa.
It's definitely attack and then jump.
You'll hit behind you.
Because it's much easier. I'm holding attack right now. So if I press jump, back attack. Eat it. Skate's really good. He can just keep somersaulting backwards. It's pretty handy. You know, like he can just keep hitting enemies like this. Yeah. But as you can see, they can actually, they will actually respond by hitting you, so your back attack doesn't make you invulnerable. Which it might make you pretty invulnerable in the case of the Golden Axe games, where the enemies are less aggressive.
I never tested that, so that'd be good to know.
Who the hell is this?
Oh, hey, Bobbinator.
Get out of my video!
Hey, special guest host, Bobbinator, has appeared. Hello, sir.
Yeah, he's
a new challenger.
He was just trapped in the washing machine, though.
But yes, this game is good. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Yeah,
I still don't know if I like 3 or 2 better. Like, there's a lot of things about 2. 2, if we're talking about just raw gameplay and just
3 is good if you're playing Japanese.
It's probably better.
3 is really good. American version, take it or leave it.
I think 3 is really good, and I really like that game because it does something that I think a good sequel should do. It keeps a lot of the base game the same, but also adds a lot of new elements and kind of mixes things up a lot. Like, it slowly is just iterated on the previous game. Like, 3 is faster, 3 has more moves, weapons now have special attacks. Your special attacks work differently. In this game, they drain your health, but in 3, you actually have a special bar that you can actually perform a free special move at any time, as long as it's filled.
That sounds like an
Otherwise, it
improvement from a
drains
design
There's one
standpoint.
thing I really liked about 3 was like they brought back environmental hazards, and I love fun with that. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot
like
of
you
really
had
cool stuff like
a
that.
laser going across the floor. I really like that. I think that was kind of actually a big improvement.
Sounds like quite an evolution.
So that's how you beat Jet, by the way.
If you're playing as Skate, in any case. If you're playing as any other character, it's gonna be tricky.
I'll try and demonstrate an alternate way to beat him on the next Jet type character I fight. That was, like Skate's.
I know you have to bait his AI, essentially, I think, if you're playing as other
Yeah,
characters.
and I'll explain it when we get to him next. But yeah, like as you can see, Skate's forward, Skate's pep run is also pretty damn powerful. Like genuinely quite strong.
That is some nice parallax.
This game doesn't. I don't think this game like.
Yeah, it is.
I
really
like the
uses
foreground layer there.
Genesis in terms of its like overall like it doesn't do like a ton of tricks, but it is such a well put together game visually. Like all of its stuff, it's real solid. It looks real nice.
It's lacking in like fancy. It's like doesn't have very many fancy raster effects or anything, but like the way everything is put together is still really nice.
Actually, it's funny you say that, Argent, because this stage features a bunch of very fancy
This is the
raster
most
effects.
fancy stage I would say of all the stages.
This is the baseball stadium are my favorite stages. This because there's just so much visual variety. You go on all these different rides. It's really cool. The baseball stadium because apparently the baseball diamond leads to an illegal wrestling circuit or
Yeah, that's
something.
pretty great.
Which is
Who
just
put it
insane.
in the arcade machine?
Yeah, that's always, it's an Apple machine, PC versus Apple. This is really interesting. This one yellow guy here is not a Y signal. That's Marvin. I have no idea why that's Marvin, but that's Marvin.
That guy's Axel, Marvin.
They
all have unique names, it seems
yeah,
like, right
that
here for
one
some
specific
reason.
yellow guy gets to be called Marvin, and that guy's
I
Axel.
know there's some
and-
very specific enemies with like specific names that give you a ton of points if you kill them. Like, I know there's some Donovan in stage 1 has a different name that gives you a lot of points when you kill him.
Yeah, there's a couple of enemies that are seemingly different to the rest of them. What's name does it? We killed him really quickly without noticing it really, but one of the there's the green biker on that previous stage just before you get into the truck. He is obscenely aggressive compared to the other bikers, and I don't know why. But for some reason he won't use it. If you're low on health, he might actually kick your ass if you don't know what you're doing, because he's like twice as aggressive. He goes for the pipe every single time, and then he attacks super quick.
Do you know what I really like about this game? You can actually kind of combo into things I really like.
Yeah, a lot of...
Yeah, it's got such a smooth fighting system. So few beat-em-ups of the era had either as much move variety or just as smooth combat. Like, this is a very smooth playing game.
Even if you just compare it to Streets of Rage 1, which is very bricky in comparison. Like, this game just, it blows its own previous game out of the water.
Kind of sad that the leap from Glomax 1 to 2 wasn't this huge. Or even Glomax 2 to 3, to be honest.
No, 3 definitely adds a lot more. It actually has more moves than Streets of Rage 3 does. It has a very complex combo system.
I just think 3 is still kind of bland, to be honest. That's just me.
Visually speaking, yeah, it's a very kind of an empty, bland game, but in terms of gameplay, it's rock
I like
solid.
that it works really well in the background.
I'm glad they experimented with it. I don't know if it's necessarily brilliant, but they definitely put a lot of effort into it, and I can appreciate that.
Wait a minute.
These ninjas are horrible. I hate ninjas. And also that boat stage had really nice sort of background effect if you were paying attention.
I just noticed that. Was that like rotating like Mode 7 style effect?
It's like a combination raster like rotating effect. I have no idea. I've never seen a different Genesis game do that.
I don't think I even noticed that when I played this before.
I've seen it. You see it every now and again. It's something to do with the way they're rendering the columns
It's
and
a
pixels.
Mode 7 effect.
screen.
It's very impressive to have that much scaling. So I'm going to demonstrate something here. A lot of the bosses spawn in. Oh wait, they spawn at the same time. Well, that's annoying. Sometimes you can coax them to spawn separately. I'm not quite sure what triggers it, but sometimes a lot of the bosses you can bait like when you have two of them at once, in this case Electra, which is now called El Lizzie. And Bino, which is a great name for a guy with a knife, is Bino.
Maybe he really likes the anti-gas product, Bino.
Man, I can't believe I hit my Lisa's attack.
He's even the right color, too, because I'm pretty sure Bino actually has a green label or cap
Maybe
or
he likes that
something.
one
I'll look
British
that up.
comic.
And here's the some great little effect here with the smoke. I'm sure YouTube is gonna eat this like crazy, but yeah, that's a really nice fake transparency dithering that they've got going. This is great.
Ah, yes, the exploding alien eggs, because of course you'd have that in an amusement park.
Yeah, no idea. This is the stage where Sega says, "Oh, by the way, we really like Eager."
You know what's weird about this, though, is that the stage boss for this is pretty mundane, but then in 3 they started adding some really crazy crap, like clones and robots and other insanity. I think there's even some biological enemies, I can't
I
remember.
kind of like the way this one is mostly grounded and then has a couple of more ridiculous things in it. As you'll see very shortly, we're gonna fight a completely preposterous boss. Also, one of the most hated bosses in the game, I think, just because of how frustrating it is.
Well, it doesn't follow the rules of any other boss or enemy in the game. It is very bizarre.
Yeah, I hate it. I mean, everyone hates it. I don't think anyone likes. I appreciate that they tried to do something different, but I think most people are not happy with this thing. It definitely terrified me as a child. I had no freaking idea what the hell what was going on.
I never thought that.
There's a face, and then there's a second face on top of the face. What a monstrous thing that is, and it's called, like, Leclius or something? I can't even read it properly.
What is new with this?
Or something.
Like an animatronic or something?
It's supposed to be your nightmares, and there's a giant vagina behind it, so that's your, you know.
You have to be your own, right?
Yeah, there it is. You can see the whole thing, you know, the whole unblinking. It's actually an upside down vagina, actually, but, so there's a secret life right here. I will take this one. Bam! Secret life. So, you know. But it's okay to take that secret life, because, you know, that one you have to fight that freaking ridiculous, thing. Yeah, don't...
Spoilers, taking all extra lives is, warranted and good.
Wait, that's the only secret life taken so far, and you've still got 8 of them?
What? Yeah, I don't need lives. Told you. Oh, you weren't here when I said I don't need lives.
You say that, and then you're gonna lose a life at some point, and you're gonna be like, well, you should have taken that extra life at the start of the game.
If I run out of lives, that'll be fine. Oh, you can't jump out of this guy's throat because his throw, what's his name's you?
He doesn't actually throw you, he slams you, yeah.
Yeah, I could lose a life here. I mean, I might. I don't know. I'm probably.
Yeah, Sam's kind of an
there is
asshole.
kind of a trick to him. Like, I mean, the trick that I apply is you kind of just want him to, oh crap, I lost the sword. I'm dead. I lost the life. This is the worst day of my life because I don't have one anymore.
I told you should have taken the extra life right at the start. Now look at where you are, man.
Yeah, one life left. Now I don't have enough lives.
Than you would have been.
No, I mean, the trick with Zemza is the way he works, you kind of want to bait him to jump near you and then just attack him. Because that's usually the safest. If you go towards him, he tends to just kick your ass. You know, he's a bit random, like, because he has a recovery attack, he has an anti-air attack, his throw can't be escaped. You know, he's got quite a few things that will, you know, really potentially mess you up. You know, if you're lucky, you'll beat him without getting hit. If you're playing as Blade, you can do that really easily because she just takes the sword and instantly wins.
Sonic Stadium?
If you're anyone else, yeah, it's a little bit harder. Max is actually pretty good against him, even though Max is a bit slow, because if Max manages to grab him...
I thought this it's like
hey, it's like Boo!
No, it's like Boo! No one knows what that means, do they? It's like, is Boo just one of the guys on the team, and they were just like, let's write it there?
It's like the Cope sign in Sonic 1. Nobody knows what it's about. It's sort of...
Wasn't that referring to, like, the Genesis processor or something?
It
I
could
heard that
be.
somewhere.
I know there's probably some sort of that, but I can't remember what it was.
Co-processor, maybe?
And I do
Yeah,
know
I
the
can
Genesis
see
set
that.
is the 80 and it is a carryover from the Master System.
Does anyone want to do baseball? I think it's actually baseball. I think is the way that poster's written. Really nice chairs here. I
It's just a great stage.
Yeah, I like the fact that the previous level, the fun fair is in the background of this. That's a really nice touch.
Yeah, the Disney Castle.
Yeah, and I like that the enemies start lying on the couches here, so that, you know, it's like a nice attention to detail with the enemies. I hate those assholes that run into knives earlier in the stage. I hate those guys so much.
I think there's something wrong with their hitbox, because you do get hit a lot by those guys.
Yeah, you have to just jump kick them. That's the easiest way to pretty much guarantee you take them out. Just jump kick them, because your priority is better than theirs if you're jump kicking. Otherwise, you know, you could just get your ass kicked.
So something to note here is that the stage theme, or the stage theme for this stage, I believe it's based off a song by the Shaman. I think it's Ebenezer Good or something. In fact, a lot of songs in this game are actually outright stolen, pretty much. I know there's an Ace of Base song that's in one of the stages. I believe it's the boat stage.
Still a fantastic soundtrack. Really great instrumentation.
Well, yes, Yuzo Koshiro might have borrowed a lot of some of the basic tunes, but he definitely made the Genesis sing.
Yeah.
So I can definitely forgive that. And they're different enough. It's kind of the Bobby Prince principle here on display.
Like, a lot of it, you know, unless it's an exact ripoff, it's gonna sound really different coming out of the Jenny chip here, because it's like, you know, fake instruments, really odd sounding stuff.
Bear 2? What happened to Bear 1?
Well, this is Bare Knuckle 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's referring to.
There's actually a bare knuckle machine in the game too. That's the
I
great
think it's
part.
bare
Or
knuckle
is it
too.
just bare
It's
knuckle? I
full of
forget.
self-referential advertising. This is a lot of parallax in this stage. Like tons of it, like really subtle stuff, but
Which is weird because it doesn't need it. It's a baseball
it's nice.
stadium.
You've got like a really big sense of depth in this baseball stadium. Like it feels huge thanks to that tiny bit of parallax.
Yeah, it
Which
does.
is really nice. A lot of 2D beat 'em ups sort of they feel very flat. This one and the beach both feel huge in terms of just pure size into the background.
See, that was one thing about the Genesis that really made it kind of stand out from the SNES is that it was much easier to do parallax. Like, I think to do parallax on the SNES, you had to mess with one of the weird odd modes
Well, you
on
definitely
the
could have
system.
used mode 7 if you wanted
And
parallax.
most games didn't bother. Yeah, you had to do something. I know you just said it, but I didn't.
Well, it's fine. They
So-
can hear what I said. No, there were also a lot of color limitations on the SNES if you wanted to use like a lot of parallax. Like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was a weird bug. I've seen that one before.
What happened?
I got hit, and then my weapon appeared in the middle of the area, and disappeared. Very odd. Big Ben. What a pathetically easy enemy to defeat.
Just don't try to throw him as any of the other characters, except for Max. I think Max can actually throw this guy.
I think that I think that might be a US thing, or is that like in the original Japanese version as well?
I forget, actually. Maybe it's only he can do a jump throw
Or
on him.
maybe
I
it's
forget.
the harder difficulties you can't
yeah, this
throw
guy's
him?
kind of-
Is it? Maybe? I don't know, because
Wait, maybe it was only Streets of Rage 3 where you couldn't throw him,
I
where he
think
would
it might be
actually
Streets of
fall on
Rage
you.
3, to be honest. So here we go.
Oh,
We're,
maybe try
we're
it.
on our
Yeah,
way
that
to
would
this
shock me.
this secret, like, giant elevator with a secret underground fight ring, which is, yes,
Underneath a baseball diamond
none
for
of
some
it makes
reason.
any sense. But obviously, as a child, I completely accepted that this was real. I didn't know anything about America or baseball, so obviously, this
So do you
seemed
think
perfectly
this, like-
reasonable.
Do you think they just have like giant fight rings underground all over the place or something?
Probably.
If that's to be believed. This is another one of those things where there's a lot of very artistic use of parallax, like the way that you've got The elevator sort of, that middle strip is moving in like a variety of different speeds, and the sides next to it are moving at different speeds. So you get this real different sense of motion here.
Yeah, I like how the background slowly speeds up, but given how long you're on this elevator for, you'd have to be like a mile underground or something,
Yeah, it feels
I
like
think.
you might as well be in the center of the earth by the time you reach the bottom of this damn thing. But maybe that's where Secret Underground Fight Club is
Unless
held.
it's at like an angle and it's like going
Yeah,
actually
it's
going
like
much
the Splatterhouse 2
slower.
elevator almost.
And I
I don't
think this might be the first time you fight all these gold-clad enemies. I think this might be the first time these guys show up.
So does this game follow the same power rating thing as Golden Axe, where like the different colors are actually different health and strength levels for each enemy?
Yeah, kind of. I think that their aggression and their like general, yeah, like their aggression and stuff does change depending on crap. I was trying to think too hard and I died. That was horrible. 0 out of 10. Feel free to
Listeners,
grade my
never think.
performance.
I told
in
you,
the
man. I
comments
told you. The extra life at the start of the game. Why? Why did you give up on it?
Well, no, see, because if I get too many extra lives, and I won't be able to change character, so we'll just play Skate the entire game. You know, it's kind of like...
But you can 1cc this escape. Come on.
I can 1cc this escape. You can 1cc this game as Blaze, so easy. But there's something normal as well. I mean, you could probably put it on hard or you know, have a tough time. But I was probably gonna get my ass kicked by this guy anyway, because this guy is a real asshole. Abadabada.
Abadede.
He's
He's like
Yeah, I
the
don't-
boss and basically has no special move. It works like mirrors.
he can interrupt throws, which is you know.
Well, he is a wrestler,
Makes
so it
sense.
actually kind of makes sense.
Oh no, his character makes sense. He's just, I like the jerking off the fat jerking off guy in the background is one of my favorite background characters of any game.
I like
He
how
kinda looks like
everybody
the-
in this background looks like mutants, like these are chuds or something. Like you've gone so deep into the earth, you're fighting like, or you're in like a fight ring for a bunch of chuds.
I'm gonna lose another life. That's what's gonna happen here. I could try cheesing him, but whatever. I'm gonna try cheesing him. Let's do it.
What sort of name is Abadidi?
Abadede.
It's a wrestler, you know, it's a wrestler name. Yeah, I mean,
King
like, maybe
Abadede.
you did go underground and there's a bunch of chuds.
It
This
could
guy
be
does
worse.
have a you can see him using his anti-air on me to kick my ass, which is annoying.
I think he's kind of like that one Final Fight boss, Abigail.
I like that when he falls down, the whole ring shakes, which is a nice touch on that.
Yeah, it
Feels
gives
like
a nice sense of weight to the boss.
Oh yeah, we did it. We didn't lose another
Oh,
life.
he crossed him
I
up.
also like the, I do like the crowd in the background. I mean, they're so ridiculous, but it's also great. Yeah, I didn't need an extra life. Look at that. I'm a pro. We did it. Skate's tiny portrait at the top looks kind of like a Muppet. Like, he's just a little bit panicked. Like, oh man, we're getting wrecked. Yeah, Skate's, the only weapon Skate's good with is the knife, if for some reason you really want to use a weapon as him, because it's small enough for him to... I don't know if I have
Then the
small
shuriken
children.
or the kunai or whatever it is probably works well too.
Yeah, you could use that. That weapon sucks. I mean, like, it's crap.
It's
It
just
also
the
doesn't do
knife,
any
that's all it
extra
is. It's just a
throw damage.
reskin knife. I don't think it behaves any differently.
No, the only difference is the ninjas can pick it up and then they can do that ridiculously annoying spinning attack. Never let the ninjas keep their weapons. They will absolutely destroy you. I hate them. Yeah, so I mean, if you want tricks with the fat guys here, it works best with Skate, because he can control which direction he throws them in, so you just keep throwing them and they can't really get up or counter him or do anything. So they're easy to fight at Skate as long as you're paying attention. They can't really do anything. Woo! So alright, I gotta fight just this kickboxing guys. I don't really have any hints for the kickboxing guys, except they kind of sucker punch you with that like fast punting energy ball. It's got good range. Udin. Hey, there's another guy here. Secret Udin. He shows up after everyone else to punch you in the face just once. Exit. Nice. So I'm playing the Japanese version right now. It's kind of, you wouldn't really know because it's all in English, but this is the Japanese version.
You did that because of the panties, didn't you?
I want to say yes, because I really didn't. It was, I'm not even playing as Blaze, but it doesn't count. But I have been playing the, I've been mostly playing the amazing 3DS port of the game, so, which is the Japanese version, so I didn't want to be surprised by, you know...
I don't know if there's anything significantly different about the American version versus the Japanese. I don't think it's not quite like 3 where they mucked with the difficulty settings.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is much difference. I just didn't want to be surprised by some... It's Wayne, which is a much more reasonable name than Bourbon, which I'm pretty sure you said that, you know, it should be Bourbon.
It's supposed to be Bourbon, yeah, probably.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is Wayne. That's Wayne. What, he's the exact same as Bourbon, except he's slightly more aggressive. Like, he's more aggressive with throws a little bit. It really matters. You can just recover from his throws specifically with up and C anyway. And you just deck him. Oh. No worries. And then the water in the background. Oh, that's some great water. Yeah, that's good water. Very nice, very, good contrast, you know, you get inside the boat where it's all claustrophobic, and then now you're on the top of the boat. And it, you know, again, good use of everything. I do like the way
I like how they don't explain how you got on this boat from the baseball diamond. It's just assumed that, you know, the baseball diamond leads to a boat. Yeah,
well, obviously, I've never questioned it in my life. Okay, so this is, well, it's gonna be a little hard to, explain how this, get idiot works here, but, basically, he does one of 2 attacks when he lines up with you. He either does his, thrusting, like, air punch that he keeps doing, in which case, if you use a jump attack on him, and it's not hard, you just gotta sort of, you know, vaguely learn the hitboxes, you can just kick him. You know, you just bait him to do it, and then use a jump attack, and whatever, you can kill him. Sometimes he'll do his, like, everyone's dead, so I'll try and coax him into doing it. Come on, you purple head.
Oh, where he grabs you?
Yeah, there you go, like his upper one. That one actually, he's got, like, if you dodge it, he's got a really, long delay on recovery, so you can actually walk up, as you saw, and grab him if you manage to do it right. Otherwise you can
Well, he can grab you too. I know he can just do that if he's high enough in the air. He'll just
if you get close to him and not in a recovery state, yeah, he'll grab you. So it's not necessarily worth it. I was just trying to demonstrate that he does have recovery time. Otherwise you can combo him, and that's usually much safer. So this bit, I guess it's worth mentioning that you don't want to rush in this bit. Like, do not rush forward, because you will spawn, like, 7 or 8 guys at once, along with like 3 ninjas all at the same time. And you'll be dodging all these grenades. So don't do that. It's not fun. I mean, I'm totally MLG, I can easily beat him. You know, let's not. I don't know why these guys are throwing grenades onto their own boat. I mean, it's like kind of risky.
Ah, yes, an enemy that can block when you can't. Of course. Or wait, was that a dodge or a block?
Ninjas can dodge. Don't use it very often, but they can dodge. Oops, didn't press FC. That was big. Come on, get punched. Yeah, gotta go Sari.
Oh yeah, they can throw shurikens too.
Yeah, they kind of sucker with the shurikens because it's very fast and it's a range. So this is one of the harder bosses in the game that's coming up.
Yeah, Big Bear, he's an asshole.
Oh yeah, Big Bear. Honestly, other than what's the name? Shiva. Big Bear's probably the hardest boss in the game. Because Mr. X, yeah, like Mr. X is gonna be difficult, but he's difficult because he has a machine gun. He's not, he's very predictable.
To be honest.
The trick with Mr. X is that, yeah, his machine gun's gonna kill you, but if you try to get too close too, like, he's got some nasty attacks, but otherwise he has a pretty set pattern.
Okay, so I
Like, if he's using his gun and you're at a certain point on the screen, he can't really hit you.
So I have lost my katana, which is not ideal, because You can kind of fake Big Bear with the weapons and kinda outrange him. It works, like, at Blaze, you can 100% outrange him and completely destroy him. It's kind of ridiculous how easy he can be.
I'd like to point out something real quick. Is it me or does he look like he's drawing completely differently than anyone else in the game?
Looks like it, yeah.
He's
kinda
much
weird.
bigger, and he has more of a darker outline, I think, so he definitely, feels.
He's very cartoony
Yeah, his
looking.
visual,
Yeah.
There's
a couple of bosses like that in the game, though, Bob. Like, the robots are really weird.
Yeah,
The
They
robots-
look
his,
really weird.
his dress style is basically completely different than anything else in the game. Like, he's wearing like a 1910 style bathing suit.
I think because he's, like, Russian, so they decided to give him, like, a very different look. Yeah, the robots they look out of place, but they definitely look like Sega robots.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of fit better. That's his anti-air, which is very bothersome for me, because I like to keep my dash attack, but, we should be able to take him out with the, there we go, he's dead. Eat it, you Russian clod. So that was our bear. He took a life. If I had kept the katana, maybe. Skate's not so good against him because he's got good anti-air and he's kind of faster than Skate, so Skate gets kind of.
Well, he's got better range. Is the big
Yeah, and he's very, very hard to beat as Skate compared to, like, Blaze. Yeah, can easily take him if you keep the katana. If you lose the katana, yeah, don't do that. Just don't. Yeah, so this is the beach. Very pretty. I don't know why there were ninjas on the beach. I thought they would have avoided the beach. Not many places to hide on the open beach, but not my problem. I'm not a ninja. Although I do think Skate is the most ninja-like of the characters because of his speed and his weird drilling feet mode and general sort of persuasion. Punch, punch, punch,
Well,
punch,
he's
punch.
fast, yeah, so in that case, that would make him a ninja.
Yeah. I do like the variety of characters, even though the 4 characters are not overwhelmingly different in terms of control, they all feel really different. Like, drastically different. And, like, you know, Streets of Rage 1, they feel almost the exact same. Whereas,
They pretty much are.
yeah. This is
I
a
will
weird
say-
bit. Yeah. I was just gonna say, you gotta fight 3 of these kickboxers at once who are all named after birds.
One of the reasons
They're not
I
very
like-
dangerous on their own, but they can really chain hit you if you let them by accident in this particular bit.
One of the reasons I like 3 as much is I'm not really a huge fan of Zan and how he plays.
See, I like Zan. He's kind of an interesting counter to Max's sort of brawler character. He's more technical. Like, he uses his immense range to sort of keep enemies away. Like, all of his attacks just hit from really far away, and he's actually one of the better characters in the game because of that. He doesn't have a very good combo though, so that's the big issue with him.
Also, out of curiosity, how is he roller skating on sand?
Well, I mean, they're
They're Teflon coated.
you know, he's pretty good at skating. I mean, that's well established. So I will demonstrate something real quick, because I didn't really mention it, but this game doesn't actually punish you for spamming your AoE. Like, if you don't hit anything, it doesn't cost any
It does if it hits enemies, yeah, it'll drain your health. I think they might have changed that in the American version. I can't remember if it'll still drain or not, if it hits or doesn't.
I think
Like,
it's
now
really
in 3,
generous.
I think it'll hurt you in 3, if I remember right.
It might, but that's
Well,
just when
yeah,
it gives
it's
you a
not-
free
if the-
one anyway. So
Right.
but the forward attack will always drain your health because it does, it has extra effects that kind of flings you forward or does something different to the other move. Interestingly, Blaze's one actually does send you backwards, so you can use hers to dodge attacks. Again, because Blaze is super strong and overpowered as hell, yeah, she can actually just use her A button move to dodge attacks and receive no penalty for it. And if she hits with it, well, whatever, she hits with it, and then you get some damage on the enemy, so... Blaze is such a cool crap. Hey, don't hit me.
They fixed that in 3. Like, the characters are a lot better balanced in 3, even accounting for the hidden characters.
Well,
Well, except for Ash, but he's only in the Japanese version.
And the kangaroo's underpowered,
And he has almost
so...
no move variety anyway. He's overpowered, but yeah, he has no move variety, so he pretty much just gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
That was one thing I really liked about Remake, is they actually fleshed out the hidden characters and made them more viable.
Well, there's lots of things to like about the
And then they added a
remake.
bunch of new characters, too. You know, something I wanted to know, and I don't know if you'll see this character again in the game, but the Whip Lady characters actually are missing a hand. Like, their whip is attached to, like, I guess a hook hand or something? I don't know. It's really weird. And I assume that's how they're able to generate electricity,
That's
too.
kind of interesting.
They changed that in 3, I think.
We will
I think in
actually
3
see
they're,
Whip Lady again. There's a couple of them in the robot factory. I'm probably gonna lose my bike now because there's a shed load of bikes here. Yeah, there it goes.
The bikes aren't too bad. It's when they hop off the bikes that your shit gets real.
Oh,
And I say that right as you lose your life. Okay,
well, you know, I had no health left, and he tapped me, so I died. That's how it goes. Oh, there's more Whip Ladies here.
Yeah, if you notice, they're missing a hand, and it's like their whip is attached to it. It's
Yeah,
weird.
like, I don't know if that's deliberate, or if it's just kind of like they gently drew them, so it kind of looks like they don't have hands. Because that could just be like a really poorly drawn fist.
Or, yeah,
If we
it's
got
hard
to
to
look at them
tell.
while they were jump kicking, I think that would be a better view of it. Like, wait for him to jump kick and pause real quick.
You want me to pause when they jump. Actually, it's going to be hard to focus them. I tried to pause, but I missed the button.
I think I saw 2 hands.
You can't even see their other hand. You can only see one of them
Yeah,
when they jump,
I'm
so
just
that only makes
There
it
you
more
go,
mysterious.
There's the best I can get is a pause.
Okay, yeah, that has to be a missing hand then.
I don't, maybe. What?
I think it is, because you notice that they have left-right asymmetry there.
I mean, you know,
I mean, obviously they mirror the sprite, but
it's
still.
more solid than the Star Fox characters have severed their own legs off theory. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that one, that's beyond the pale. I always thought that was so stupid.
Alright, so now we have the new claw guy named Souther. I have no idea where they're going with that.
That's a reference to Fist of the North Star. There's a character called Souther, or as they
Isn't there a
pronounce it,
fat guy,
Souther.
That's nice.
his Northman named Hart? Because you fought a Ben named Hart.
Yeah, I think there might be.
a fat guy
I'm
named
trying to remember.
Harkness.
Yeah, that's what he's asking essentially. Is that a reference to Fist of the North Star? I
think
believe
fat guy
so.
was named Hart too, so...
That makes sense. So, basically in this fight, you just want to ignore Stealth as best as you can. That's his name. His name is Stealth. Because when Souther dies, Stealth dies of a broken heart. And you can see the next level in the background. 69! That's the time left.
Nice.
Stage 7. Start. So this is the Robot Factory, which, probably the biggest pain in the ass stage in the game because of these conveyor belts.
Got some nice relics though.
It's a really cool stage, though. It's one of the few stages with an environmental gimmick like
Yeah,
that, I think. Besides, yeah, I don't think there are even pits in this game. There aren't even like
No,
bottomless pits to
there's
throw enemies
nothing.
into,
It
except
really
for one
isn't.
exception.
I don't mind that because I think the game holds up without it. Especially since
It does, but it is kind of nice to
Yeah,
have
I do
that back
appreciate
in
it in
3. Because I know 1 had bottomless
yeah,
pits, if I
I mean, there's a
recall.
couple of bottomless pits on the bridge in 3, in 1, sorry.
And the first game had those crusher things too. I don't think this
Yes.
game has that.
I didn't care for those crusher things. The hitboxes in those were very confusing to deal with. I appreciate the idea, but the actual execution's a little bit mangy.
Hey, that guy's name
Yeah,
was
most of them
Buffet.
have food names, so I suspect
could
that the
have a
one
lot of
named
respect
Hart
for fat
was
people in this
definitely
game.
a reference. Because yeah, fat guys are named after foods, and the bikers have cool names like Typhoon and Blade. Yeah, and Storm. So I guess they're kind of weather themed. I mean, Blade's not really weather themed, but ew. That black guy's name is Brown.
Well, maybe that's why he's so aggressive. Maybe because he doesn't fit in
Maybe.
with the other bikers.
This
He
proper
doesn't have a
guy's name is
storm-based
Dude,
name.
which is about as, you know, about as cool a name as Rain from Mortal Kombat. Ooh, I'm Rain. I'm gonna kick your ass with water. I jump into that explosion. Come on,
You say
let's get
that,
it
but the
together.
whole reason he's called Rain is because he's purple. You see, it's a Prince reference.
I know, I realize
So
that.
it instantly makes this
I'm well aware
character
of
better than a
Chocolate
lot of
Rain.
other Mortal Kombat characters like, I don't know, Husu Hao or the other characters from 3. 3 had a lot of lame characters.
Let's not get into the extended catalog of Mortal Kombat characters is about as exciting as the extended catalog of Sonic characters.
Right, yeah. Is there a Shadow the Hedgehog equivalent in MK? Is that Scorpion?
Nah, he was from the original.
I don't think so, and especially I think there's a lot of Scorpion fans that would be angry for suggesting that he's on the same.
Oh,
Yeah, but one's blue. One of the ninjas is blue, and he's called Sub-Zero, and he has an arch rival that's from Hell.
Sorry, what about Shijinko from Deception? Did he do
That's a good
Shadow?
question. I don't remember much about him, so that tells you everything you really need to know.
We should ask a fellow Mortal Kombat enthusiast Tenga and see what he thinks.
Right. I'm sure he would. I'm sure he's not be fond of me calling Scorpion the shadow of the franchise.
So I mean, I'm trying to. I should have probably done it better, but yeah, like just then, you can avoid waking up the ninja, which is probably the best thing to do because you really don't want to have to fight the ninja with other characters in this stage because these conveyor belts really kick your ass. So hopefully I can do it here, because even though there's a ninja up there, the whip lady is spawned. What's her name?
You're missing it.
Which I'm assuming is supposed to be Dahlia, like Black Dahlia, because she's wearing black.
Also, I noticed you're failing
And
to
it's a
throw
good idea
recovery,
not to
man.
wake
You
up-
gotta remember that. Yeah, it's probably supposed to be Dahlia.
I don't know if you know this or not, but you don't have to time up and see.
Yeah, he knows that, yeah, he knows.
Oh, yeah, I like how that ninja dude up on the girders is showing up over the attacks.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
That's Bo. I don't know what he's supposed to be. He's the only black ninja in the game. And then next area will fight the only white ninja in the game. So I guess they're kind of a gang sort of deal.
Well, his name's Buo. I don't know if that has any significance.
And I believe the boss music started. This is the boss music, right?
Wait, the boss music? Wait, hold on, give me a minute.
No, this is not.
No, this is the elevator theme.
Okay. The elevator theme. How do they get confused? There's what I think is D-Signal. I don't know about D-Signal. Maybe Distorted is where they were going with that.
Yeah, distorted signal would make
O
sense.
Signal. But D-Signal's pretty. If it was Distorted Signal, that's pretty cool. So this is the chicken. You don't want to eat that chicken yet because we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
This is interesting as far as Streets of Rage go because it actually has 2 elevator levels.
That's 3, actually. There's 3 elevator segments in this game.
I guess if you include the other one, yeah, fair enough.
And there's one next stage too.
What?
Yeah, there's more or less 3. So this is the most elevator stages of any of the. Oh, come on, that's spawn grabbing, you piece of crap. You bullshitter.
Yeah, this game will sometimes screw you over like that.
I definitely was not going to be able to get out of that. He's just spawn camping. Go back to your own base. You know, your mom was good in bed last night. You trashed the whatever.
What if he used his own mom,
So,
though?
yeah.
Like, what if it's one of those situations?
Oh, then I made a horrible mistake. So, yeah, like, this is the white ninja here. Again, you really don't want to let them get their sword back. The best thing to do is probably just to throw it away unless you're Blaze. Because, if they get it back, they're just gonna wreck you. Crap. They spin around you. His name is Matsu. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, there's Ho-Oh from the famous Pokemon series.
You'd think their Japanese names would mean something because, you know, the game is made by people who speak Japanese.
There's probably some
Yeah, the Ghost
significance, yeah. It might be, most of it's probably references and such, if I had to guess.
Thing is, a Ho's code scheme is more Lugia though.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I usually lose at least 1 life on this elevator because kind of a long ride to be a top tier.
I think, yeah, this is the point where they're trying to drain your lives. If this was an arcade game, this would be the quarter miniature segment. It's like, yep, give us your money now.
Like, yeah, Juice Rates is generally a pretty, like, Juice Rates 2 is generally a pretty fair game, except when it's not. And that's like here, like the end of the game, where it's just like, okay, fun's over, time to start losing lives. Which makes perfect sense, because of course, even as a home game, they're trying to make sure that you don't finish it in an hour and return it to the video store from whence it came.
And then 3 was even worse about that, because runnels are Satan.
Well, yeah, in the US version, they upped the difficulty, so normal became hard, hard became normal, etc. Easy was now normal, and the shittiest thing about 3 is that if you play the game on easy, you can't get the true ending, like it ends about the midpoint.
Yeah, it's a real pain. And this guy's name is Sawyer, which balances well with the name Dino. Although for some reason, the original character type is named Knife. That makes sense, because he uses a knife. Another life, that's not good.
I was
Man, I really wish I had an extra life right about now.
Yeah, I know, man. You just left that extra life behind at the start. It's a shame.
Yeah, what kind of an idiot would do that? It's like, learn some strategy. Damn it. Angry.
Is that supposed to be angry or something? I'm wondering what the deal with that name is. This is weird.
Yeah,
Hungry,
I don't really
maybe?
know. It might be hungry. That kind of makes sense. I like the face that this guy makes when you grab him. It's like, oh no! Kind of like terrorized, like someone's just, I don't know. Like he's not into that like bad punch sort of face.
Well, that's why he uses a knife. He doesn't want anyone to get close to him.
I think he also takes less damage from knives. Like he's pretty.
Well, that would make sense. That would be the best way to balance a knife-wielding character.
I can't tell if they meant Andy or Henry.
Wait, is there any case where enemies take less damage from certain attacks?
Not really. He might take less damage from knives, but I don't think anyone else is like that. Here are the robots! They are, they exist. They are really strange. Yes, Skate can get knocked out of his, punching people on top of their head throw, so it's kind of a dangerous move to use unless you're pretty safe.
Yeah, the robots are huge assholes.
Yeah,
I can't even remember. Can you even grab them? I can't remember.
You can grab these robots, but they can electrocute you. Generally, if you throw them immediately, you're fine. But if you try and hold them, they'll probably electrocute you. I seem to remember that this red one electrocutes you more than the gray one. But
now, is this is one of them the actual boss and you defeat them and then the other one dies, or do you have to kill both?
You have to kill both, and in an interesting touch, if they get low on health, they will actually run at you to suicide on you and explode and do a chunk of damage. There you go. I just deliberately got myself electrocuted to demonstrate what happens, and maybe I can fix him into exploding on me if he wants to try that. They can also shoot lasers. I don't know if I let them shoot a laser.
Yeah, they've got the swinging ball and chain. They've got a lot of asshole moves.
They're like the they like hopes to explode. Be low enough in health to explode. Maybe not. I'll smack him again. I got electrocuted. I'm worried I'm gonna cost myself a life doing this, but I really want to show off his potential to explode.
See, I never let them live that long once they got low enough.
Oh, there you go. He did it. I think it works better when there's two of them, because while one of them might, hit you or grab you or something, the other one will jump on top of you just when you don't expect it, and let you have it.
Maybe both of them have to be alive for them to do that. Maybe they won't do that.
He just exploded. Did you not see? I didn't hit him. He blew himself up.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah. So, interesting part about them is they are immediately downgraded to Luke instantly. Like,
well, there's already
literally
two of them to begin with, so...
Yeah, and the first enemy you fight in the last stage is just one of them. Well, I mean, you can immediately spawn other guys if you feel like it, but... Yeah, he's immediately downgraded to Luke. So, kind of ignoble for a boss, but, whatever.
Well, they're supposed to be mass-produced. That you just came out of the factory that was producing them. You were probably fighting, like, souped-up versions or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. So here's Star Jr. I'm gonna try and fight him. I think he's slightly easier than his, I guess, father or brother. It's like, I mean, Junior implies child, but they kind of look the exact same because they're the same sprites, so who knows. But yeah, like, as you can see, he hasn't kind of not in a hit yet, but you can kind of pretty well down with the pipe. He hit me once there, but yeah, generally you can actually get a pretty good handle on him if you keep the range.
I wonder if all of
that's
I wonder if all the bosses in this boss corridor actually are slightly easier than their original appearances. I mean, they have less health, I think.
I believe they are slightly easier, except for Bob. He is more aggressive because kind of has to be. Because he's now called Vulture. Yeah, I couldn't remember what his new name was. It's Vulture. He's kind of slightly harder. I mean, he also has more health. He now has 2 stars. Every other boss, I think, is slightly easier. Not necessarily very much easier, but they actually are made kind of easier just as a result of the fact that you're now fighting them in enclosed elevator space. You have a wall to sort of play with. And that will make a huge difference against Abadada.
Abadada.
You know, we can... I like this ending music too. This like, you know, it's not
it's
super
very
action
jazzy.
heavy. Yeah, but it's very it suits the the feeling. You know.
Well, shit's about to get real, so.
Nail's a tremendous pain
Hey, wait,
in the
can you
ass.
use your special attack to get out of Nail's throw?
Nah, you can't. Nail's just kind of an asshole in general.
It's kind of weird exception, but most
I
you can
don't-
escape from, so...
I don't really like Nail. I'm not fighting very well either. Yeah, you can tell I just don't really like fighting Nail. He's kind of random. So it's a bit tricky to get him down. He's got an air attack, and then he's got an attack which is quite easy to defeat, but then he's got one that's very difficult to defeat. Sometimes he runs up and grabs you, sometimes he slides up and kicks you. Just kind of a very twitch-heavy character that can be quite a challenge to get down.
I wonder if there's some logic to the way his pattern, or to which moves he'll use. Like, if someone's figured that out, like, oh, if he does this, then he'll do that, or if it's just purely luck of the draw.
It's entirely possible. To be honest, I haven't read anything. I haven't read a single guide to this game, so I don't know. I also haven't watched someone else play it. That's just whatever.
Well, the only person that would probably know that would be someone who's tool assisted this game or something, because they would have to probably bait bosses into specific attacks to make them easier.
I
So
would
the,
think people who made Remake would know, since...
Yeah, they might have a good idea. They would have studied.
Yeah,
the
they
game a lot.
disassembled the games.
Whoops, I died again. That's not good. I've lost way too many lives against this dick.
No, is 8 the maximum number of lives you can have?
No, you can have at least 9. To be honest, I've never hit 10. So I don't know if it gives you 10 or if it
I think it caps off at 9, if I had to guess.
because it's a little tricky to hit that golden number of 10. Because you don't really get enough extra lives before you run out of extra lives. Like before you start losing lives. So
You could probably test it on easy, but who wouldn't do that?
yeah, you can probably do it on easy. It would be hard, but you know, I'm not really.
Whoa, he actually knocked you out of your attack!
Oh yeah, he does that. He's a
Crap.
Holy moly. I'll swear, Star Platinum.
But hopefully we can do it. Yeah, I think we
His
can do
name's
it.
Z Kusano. I don't know what the relevance of that is. Probably a Japanese wrestler or something.
Now the thing about Z Kasanu here is that you can cheese the shit out of him. And I mean that in the truest sense of the flavor. And full dairy cheese here. There is just nothing he can do. You time this right, and crap. Recovery is too slow. You can cheese
Can you
and
get this happening?
cheese until you win.
No, you can't because there's no wall. You have to have a wall, essentially, to be able to bait him.
Yep, so that's it. You can defeat him. You get a little bit of health back before you have to fight the two dudes
You know, I don't
here.
think the HUD is supposed to render underneath Mr. X and Shiva. I think that might be an emulation issue. Although, again, I haven't played this on an original Genesis in ages.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you for sure. I can't remember. I like the deer heads. They're nice, unique assets back there. So, I have no idea how to beat Shiva. Straight up. No idea. He just takes all your lives. There might be a trick to him. I have no idea what it is. He's like Souther on steroids. He completely... I'm doing really well with him. This is like the best I've ever done against him. Because he can grab you pretty much non-stop. His throw is really strong. All of his attacks sort of get out of other attacks. He's got higher priority than you, pretty much every move that he has. I'm getting lucky with Skate's forward dash, which, as you've probably seen, I've used a lot, because it's probably the best move that Skate has in terms of surprising bosses. That's the best I've ever done against Shiva. I beat him without losing a single life. Like, damn. I'm very happy with that.
I think Mr. X is easier because he can't really counter you as well as Shiva can.
Mr. X is definitely easier, like, significantly easier. He has a whole extra block of health to make up for the fact that he's just not very strong in general. Can't get out of your flows, so he can't... Oh, I got an extra life! 8!
Just from punching him. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so these enemies will spawn infinitely. Whatever. Mr. X is kind of... He's more annoying to fight than he is hard. Because his machine gun's got machine gun, so it has pretty high priority. And unlike Shiva, like, who's so strong doesn't even get enemy spawn to help him, Mr. X constantly has 2 or 3 guys walking in.
I think he'll run out eventually to keep fighting off the nukes. It takes
I haven't noticed that, but I don't see why it would be necessary considering that he's really not that hard, especially as Skate and Blaze, because Blaze has some good invulnerability frames. Yeah!
Nice
Hey, he
work.
didn't spray bullets everywhere. Doesn't he usually spray bullets everywhere when he dies? Oh well.
I think that might be either Streets of Rage Remake or when you fight him in 3.
Maybe it's in 1 when you kill him. But you fight it in 1 as well. So that's
Yeah, I think that might be 1 actually thinking on it.
that's Streets of Rage, you know? That's Streets of Rage 2. That's how you play it.
Now
That's,
do it on
that's my
Mania.
guide.
Do you have to unlock the hardest difficulty or something?
Mania. There's the only difficulties we showed earlier is easy, normal, hard, and hardest. Where's my letters? Give me my letters. There we go. And now we get the ending, which has a nice, you know, very uplifting song. Features the return of both Adam and the cop from the first game, the one that just helps you.
Ah, nice. Shout out.
I don't know how canon it is he shows up, but there's a guy piloting a helicopter, and I think it's heavily implied that it's the cop from the first game piloting it. There's Adam.
In 3? Yeah, it's definitely him.
The rocket launcher cop.
I still love the guy whose nickname is Shout Ow.
Ow, ow.
Is that a D or a O? I can't tell.
I'm pretty sure it's an O. There we go. They've got the exact same color scheme. Oh, the glories of palettes.
Well, it's too bad because in those covers it's not gender neutral. That's not good.
I do like this game.
Seriously, Sega, what the hell were you doing?
At least this isn't like the ending of eSwap, where it's just kind of random characters just sort of show up and it's like, yeah, we did it! Who the hell are these people? That's the grossest rendition of Max you'll ever see with his, like, just... I don't know where to go with his torso there, but it's just...
Way too many muscles. You know what gets me about this is that they don't explain how Mr. X comes back in 2. He's just there. It's like somehow he survived. But then in 3, it's like, yeah, he's actually a brain in a jar now.
I'm
You just
pretty
punched
sure
him
the
that hard.
exact wording 2 uses resurrected, like he's Dracula or something.
Yeah, they don't really tell... They just say, like, yeah, he just sort of he's back. Listen,
Although I will say that's one thing I like about 3 is that it's clearly a reference to RoboCop 2, what with Mr. X being a brain now.
Team, Streets of Rage.
Although it depends on which ending route you take. That's
Yucky.
true, actually, now that I think about
It's Hassy, everyone.
it.
Go get some Hassy in ya.
Cassie.
Ah, the famous street artist, Shepard Hassey.
And there's the helicopter, which is literally piloted by the pilot. It's Max's incredible back muscles there. Like, damn.
Does he have a six-pack on his back? I don't think that's how those work.
Strong gentleman. I mean, you can understand why that guy hits like a freight train. I like how lazy the art is in this compared to the rest of the game, because, you know, they don't expect you to get that far. Like, it has an ending, and that's more than a lot of games from the period, but they, you know, there was not nearly as much graphical effort put in. Sega! Wait, there's no Sega. It's out in this one. It's a shame. Even the, like, intro, like, punching graphics here is, also better. So that, Streets of Rage 2. I don't think there's much else to say about Streets of Rage 2. I don't think you can play...
I mean, it's just one of those games that's so solid, there's not really a lot you can add to it.
But just quickly, just a few seconds with old Max here. You know, just to see, like, how different a character Max and Skate are. Max has his, like, sliding forward kick instead of a run, which is nice. I don't really know how it works, he just kind of propels his ass along the ground, but... Yeah, Max does have some very fun moves to use, since he can jump after grabbing an enemy and throw him away. And you really feel strong playing with Max. He's just has that extreme, you know, power to him. He can also do the drop here. Come on, come here. Come here. There you go. Sure that Max has, and this is unique to Max and only Max. He is the only character in the game whose weapon attack hits behind him. So that's really useful. If you time it right. I'm gonna count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time over! And it even has a unique sound effect. Wow. Good night, everyone.